Hi, teacher.
Hi guys, good afternoon, good to see you. Hi Leo, good afternoon.
Hi, teacher. Good afternoon.
Hi dear, good to see you here. Hi Raul, hi Andre, good
Oi.
to see you. Hello.
Hey.
Hey Agate, good to see you. Hey, how's it going?
Everything's going pretty well.
All
Hey, bless you.
right. Yeah, I'm always sneezing.
Are you okay today?
Yeah, I am. A little bit, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm better now, but still sneezing. I think it's, I don't know, allergy, sinus. It's a mix of allergy and sinus, you know? When you
Sinus.
have, yeah, when you have an infection here in this area, yeah, it's
Oh.
a
Is that because of the weather? The weather change
yeah,
nowadays.
that's true, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's because of the weather change, so I feel that a lot. And that's why I have rhinitis, which is an allergic reaction, and also sinus infection when you have this area here a little sore, and then you have a mix of both. That's what's going on.
That's another.
I feel a little tired, but that's okay. I took a medication now right before our class started, so let's hope I feel better. Okay, guys. What about you, Agate? Are you okay? Yes. Are you in the classroom or at home? Hey, good afternoon, dear. Good to see you. Is anybody in the classroom? No? Okay, people. Where are you, Agate? Are you in the classroom?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Very nice, Agate. Good job. So, people, first of all, I'd like to know if you have your homework, if you did your homework from last week. So let me get it there just a second. That was June 5th. Yes, can you see that? So the homework I asked you to do was online practice, unit 7.4 and 7.5, and students book page 153, okay, which was unit 7 review, plus the exercises posted here. So did you have a chance to do your homework? Do you have any questions?
Yes, I did, and I don't have any questions.
Either. I did as well.
Okay. So let's just check this one here, page 153, just to see if we have any questions. This is our lesson for today, guys. We will start unit 8, finally. That's really nice, isn't it? So let's try to go there. It takes a while to open. Yeah, 153. Yes, here we go. Just to help you out, guys, to see if you did everything. The students who were not here last class, you may also check the answers to this exercise. So this is the first one, okay? The vocabulary from unit 7. My cousin married. In 2015, scientists discovered John Jackson's friends encouraged him. Okay, this is the past, okay, guys? Ada Lovelace succeeded, Brandon Stanton became, and I started a software company, but it failed after only 1 year. Okay. We also saw some expressions that we use to talk about the past. Okay, I'm making it bigger. So the first one, when my friend Alina was a child. And something you will notice, guys, is whenever we use the word when, we use the past simple, okay? Most of the time. Number two, in 2005, when we refer to a year, I use preposition in, okay? Also, when I refer to a month, we use preposition in. Number three, 2 weeks ago, she became a professional soccer player. So the word ago also signals the use of the simple past, okay? Number four, last week, indication of simple past as well. And when I use words like last, next, tomorrow, today, yesterday, we never use the definite article and we also never use prepositions. Okay, we just say last week, last night, today, tomorrow, yesterday. And here, number five, we are referring to a day of the week. So we use the preposition on when we refer to days, right? Exercise number three, the grammar. So what was the main topic of Unit 7? The simple past. Here we have the simple past of the verb to be. So we can have two different forms in the simple past for the verb to be. Or I have was or were. Okay? Different from the present. The verb to be in the present has three forms. We have am, is, and are. Okay? So the verb to be in the present has three different forms, but the verb to be in the past has only two forms, was or were. And this is what we practiced here, okay? Affirmative and negative. So here we have the beginning. When I was a child, my best friend was, okay, my neighbor. He wasn't in my class. I was a year older, but we were always together. There was a pool in our neighborhood. So always remembering that when I'm not referring to a person, but I'm referring to something singular, I use was, especially if I'm using this combination here. There was or there were. It's when I talk about something that existed in the past. So for example, there was a house near my building, but now they demolished the house. So there isn't any house anymore. But in the past, there was a house next to my building. Okay, in the present, we use there is or there are. Okay, so in the past, there was or there were. Hi, Jessica. Good afternoon. Good to see you. So here we go. There was a pool. It's singular, okay? Our parents were friends, so we usually went on vacations together. I didn't see him as much in high school because we weren't interested in the same things. Okay, people. Great. Awesome. Can I clear my annotations here?
Sure.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes, teacher.
All right. So moving on a little bit more, here we had to correct our errors or correct the mistakes in the sentences. So here, the first one, it's a question. So when it's a question, we don't use the verb in the past. We use the auxiliary in the past, but the verb goes back to basic form or infinitive. So here we should put where did
They go.
yes, where did they go? As it is a question, I put the auxiliary before the subject. Okay, where did they go? Now here we have the verb can in the past, but this is not how we put can in the past. We say could. I'm going to put here, okay guys, on the side. So she could read when she was only 3 years old. She could read. Number 3, did he? That biography. So it's a question. So as we know, for questions, we don't put the verbs in the past. Never. So here we have the auxiliary. We need to put the verb in infinitive form. So did he?
Right.
Right. Okay. Number 4, there were an interesting show. Wow. Here, an interesting show is singular. So I can't use there were for singular. I have to change. What should I use here?
It was.
Yes, very good. There was an interesting show. Number 5, did you study math in college? Short answer. Yes, I
Did.
did. So when we give short answers, we must use only the auxiliary verb of the question. If the auxiliary is do, we answer with do. If the auxiliary is did, we answer with did. Okay, so these are yes, no questions, as we call them. Why yes, no questions? Because there are only 2 possible answers. Or I say yes, or I say no. And these questions, they don't have a question pronoun. There is no what, where, when, okay? These questions, they start with the auxiliary verb. That's why we call them yes, no questions. Examples. For example, in the present, do you like ice cream? Do you like ice cream? Possible answers. Yes,
I do.
I
I do.
do. Or,
No,
No,
I
I
don't.
don't.
okay, very good. I have only 2 possibilities. Yes or no. If I say yes, I should say yes, I do, because of the auxiliary verb here. If I say no, I should say no, I don't. Okay? So it works for all verb tenses, present, past, and future. Hi, João Paulo. Good to see you. Welcome. So here in number 5, the right answer should be yes, I did. Okay? Okay. So let's clear this. Any questions, guys, about this page? This part here we don't need to do. Okay? Can I close? Yes?
Yes,
Yes.
you can.
Good. So let's go back to our page here, Unit 8. But before we start, let me take a picture of the participants list, because I know that we are always crashing, so we never know, right, guys? Online classes, they are always a surprise. Not even I know if I'll be here all class because we crash all the time, right? So let me take a picture. Okay, picture taken. Now let me just save the picture. And while I'm saving, I'd like you to take a look at this picture and try to describe what you see in this picture, okay? Oh, right, guys, sorry. Picture saved. So, what can you see in this picture? Can you tell?
Medieval puppet store, maybe.
Looks like a medieval store. Uh-huh.
Medieval.
Yeah. And what is the guy doing?
Manipulating a warrior, medieval warrior.
Yeah. As you can see, these are like, let me see if some, yes, very nice, Cristiano. Yes, very good. Cristiano said the right words. He said they are puppets. Exactly. As you can see here, look, there are some cables connected to the body of the big dolls that we see here, right? And this kind of art is called puppeteering, and they are puppets. Okay, so let me write it down for you if you haven't seen there. Like that with double P, puppets, right? Yes, so any kind of manipulated doll we can consider a puppet. Nowadays, children love to play with finger puppets. Okay, they put the puppets on their fingers, and they can play and create stories with them. Let me show you a picture, actually some pictures of puppets. Let me go here. Let me just clear my drawing. So here we have some pictures.
Teacher, this is a puppeteer, isn't it?
Puppeteering, yeah, puppeteering is the name of the art, okay?
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, puppeteering is the art, and puppet is the name of the object, the name of the doll, right? Here I have a picture of a puppet. It's a little small, but I think you can visualize. Let me try to share here. Just a second. It's not a good picture, but let me try. Okay, can you see this picture? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a clown, right? But it's not a regular clown, and it's not a regular doll either. It's a puppet because you have the controls here. Look, okay? Another image to show you. Let me get another one here. Let me see if this one is bigger. Yeah, this one is bigger. Look, here we have another one, okay? This is also a puppet, okay? Children love performances with puppets because they are fun. The people who work with puppets, they are very talented. because they can control all the movements. So the puppets can dance. It's really amazing. And now let me show you what people usually have nowadays. Now kids in general, okay? Here. Can you see that?
Yes.
These are also considered puppets, but they are finger puppets, okay? So you put them on your finger and then you play with the kids, right? So this is also considered a puppet. So let me show you a short presentation of puppet. Let me see if I can open it here. It's really nice. Let me try to share this with you. These guys are amazing. They are so talented. The things they can do with a puppet, oh my goodness, they look real. Okie dokie. So let me share the sound. Sorry. Okay, guys, try to see this. Look, this is amazing.
Se l'ha accordato. Molto più bravo.
It was really nice, wasn't it, guys?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Best.
It was
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, it's incredible. So these guys, they are really amazing. And of course, this is a very peculiar shop because, or maybe a workshop, because he can create puppets from medieval times, right? So this is for a specific purpose, of course. So let's see, guys, what kind of story is this? Why do people enjoy stories? And what kind of stories do you like? So let's see what the photographer who took this picture has to say. Let's watch that.
Okay.
This photo shows the puppet master Mimukut Ikkyo with his puppets. I
Okay.
took this photo at his puppet theater in Palermo, Italy.
Palermo.
Took this photo at his puppet theater in
Palermo.
Palermo, Italy. Cuticchio uses his puppets to perform the Opera dei Pupi, or Opera of the Puppets.
Italy.
So
Puppet masters like Cuticchio have performed this Opera dei Pupi for hundreds of years. It is an important tradition in Sicily. The Opera dei Pupi is a traditional story. It started in Sicily in the 1800s. It was very popular with working class people who could not read. The puppet masters used their puppets to tell stories from very old poems and books. These stories are part of the history and traditions of Sicily. People enjoy stories because they tell us about ourselves. Stories can tell us how we see the world. Stories can be passed down from parents to children. They can be told through music, books, poetry, and art.
Okay, guys, so let's see, what kind of story is this? Did you get it? Do you want to see it one more time? Okay.
Yes, please.
Let's do it. Yeah, sure. A lot of information. Don't worry. Let's play it again because the video was breaking up, so it's difficult too.
This photo shows the puppet master Mimukut-Ikkyo with his puppets.
Okay, so that's the name of the puppet master. We call a person who creates puppets a puppet master, okay? And his name is Mimukut-Ikkyo. So he's from Italy, all right?
I took this photo at his puppet theater in Palermo, Italy.
So where was this picture taken?
Palermo.
Yes, very nice, right? Exactly at his puppet theater. Very good.
Cuticchio uses his puppets to perform the Opera dei Pupi.
So how does he use his puppets? What does he do with his
Opera dei Pupi?
Yes, exactly. So he uses his puppets to perform what they call the Opera dei Pupi. Okay.
Or Opera of the Puppets.
So pupi is the same as puppets, right? But pupi is puppets in Italian, okay? So Opera of the Puppets, okay?
Puppet masters like Cuticchio have performed this Opera dei Pupi for hundreds of years. It is an important tradition in Sicily.
Okay, so here, this opera dei pupi is an important tradition in Sicily. Yes, so this is something that everybody in Sicily knows, right? Because they've seen that many times. So it's something really traditional.
Sicily. The Opera dei Pupi is a traditional story. It started in Sicily in the 1800s.
So when did the Opera dei Pupi start in Sicily? When did it start?
1800s.
In the 1800s,
1800s.
yes, 1800s, right? When we want to mention the century something happened, we can just put the century in the plural and we just say the first two numbers, okay, of the century. In this case here, 18. So in the 1800s. For example, the Romanticism movement in literature started in the 1900s, right? So that's when we had the Romantic movement in literature, okay? So that's how you do it in the 1900s or in the 1800s, 1900s, so on and so forth. 1700s. So in this case here, this kind of art started in Chile in the 1800s.
It was very popular with working class people who could not read.
So how did it go and why was it very popular? It was very popular with working class people, right? Which were the poor people at the time who could not read. Yes, because they didn't have access to books. So this kind of presentation, this kind of performance would tell them the stories that they could not read in the books. All right, so that's how they got to know about old stories, sometimes old poetry, okay?
The puppet masters used their puppets to tell stories from very old poems and books.
Okay, so the objective of the opera was to tell stories about old times. So these stories are part of the history and traditions of Sicily. Okay.
These stories are part of the history and traditions of Sicily. People enjoy stories because they tell us about ourselves.
So what's the reason why? What's the reason why people love stories?
Because they tell us
estudar.
about ourselves.
Very good. That's the reason why stories tell us about ourselves. So that's why we like stories so much. That's why we like soap operas. Do you know how to say novella in English? Novella that we watch on TV today. We call them soap. Let me see.
Soap opera.
Yes, exactly. Very good. That's novella in English. Okay. Soap opera. So why do people like soap operas? Because they tell us about ourselves. It's a way to see human behavior and how we relate to different situations. So we can see sometimes, we can relate to the story sometimes, right? So it's a story about us, humans. That's why we like soap operas. That's why we like theater. That's why we like books. We like to read books because they all have stories. Okay, great. No, that's okay, José Victor. Good to see you. Welcome. All right, people. So that's the reason why people enjoy stories. Sorry. Okay.
Stories can tell us how we see the world. Stories can be passed down from parents to children.
So here he says something very interesting. Stories can be passed down from parents to children. So that means that parents can tell you a story, and then you, when you have children, you can tell the same stories to your children. So that's what it means by be passed down. Okay. For example, the story of the Little Red Riding Hood. Do you know this story? Let me put here. The Little Red Riding Hood. Do you know which story I'm talking about?
No.
No.
Chapeuzinho Vermelho.
Yes, very good, Thais. Excellent. That's it. Very good. Did you hear what Thais said?
Yeah.
Yes, that's the story of that's the story of a little girl who wears a red hoodie. She wears a coat with a hood, right? And she goes to the forest I think to give cookies to her grandma, something like this. And then there is a wolf in the forest, and the wolf tries to get her. So there is a story, okay, involving the Little Red Riding Hood. So this story is passed down generation to generation. So children hear this story from their parents, and we keep passing it down to our next generation. So this is something everybody knows, right? Like the Three Little Pigs, another story that is passed down from parents to children. The Three Little Pigs. Actually, here in English, they call piglets, okay? Because piglet is the short of pig, okay? When the pig is very small, they call it a piglet. So the Three Little Piglets, that's how we call in English. So that's another story we pass down from parents to children, okay? And many others. All right, people. So stories can be passed down from parents to children. It can be orally, written.
To children, they can be told through music, books, poetry, and art.
Yes, so this is how stories can be told. They can be told through music, books, poetry, and art. Okay. Yes. All right, now I will play from the beginning without stopping so you can see the whole video, but with full understanding now, okay? So watch and enjoy. Look at his face.
This photo shows the puppet master Mimo Cuticchio with his puppets. I took this photo at his puppet theater in Palermo, Italy. Cuticchio uses his puppets to perform the Opera dei Pupi, or Opera of the Puppets. Puppet masters like Cuticchio have performed this Opera dei Pupi for hundreds of years. It is an important tradition in Sicily. The Opera dei Pupi is a traditional story. It started in Sicily in the 1800s. It was very popular with working class people who could not read. The puppet masters used their puppets to tell stories from very old poems and books. These stories are part of the history and traditions of Sicily. People enjoy stories because they tell us about ourselves. Stories can tell us how we see the world. Stories can be passed down from parents to children. They can be told through music, books, poetry, and art.
Oh, right. Great. That's very nice, isn't it, guys? So now just to close this, what kind of stories do you like? Do you like traditional stories? Do you like funny stories? Do you like folk tales?
I like to read about traditional stories and also about stories that are made from movies
Sorry, stories that?
or make from movies.
Oh, okay, are based on movies. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. All right. Anybody else, guys? What kind of stories do you like?
I I added. I like his poetic history.
Oh, very nice. That's good. Yeah, like poetry. Uh-huh. That's good. I love that too. They are really nice. I like stories for children. I think they're so nice. They're the best ones. Children's stories. They are really good. I like reading those. Okay. So, when you read or listen to a story, how important is each thing? So here we have, it has a happy ending. Is that important to you? Does it have to have a happy ending? If it's not important, you mark this one here. If it's quite important, you mark it here, and it's very important. If you think it's very important, then you mark the last one. The next one here, the characters are interesting. How important is that in a story to have interesting characters? Number 3, it's exciting. Does a story have to be exciting to be interesting? Is that important? Number 4, it's true. So this is when a story is based on a real life situation. Okay. Number 5, it teaches me something. So does the story need to have a lesson to be good, in your opinion? And number 6, the language is beautiful. So is the language very important in a story? So then I'll give you 2 minutes to answer that question for all the items here, and then we correct. Okay, let's go. Okay, guys. Yes, are you done?
Oh,
So let's see the first one. It has a happy ending. How important is to you?
it's not important for me.
Mm-hmm. Okay, no problem. Yes, sometimes the stories don't have a happy ending, and that's okay, right? Number two, the characters are interesting.
Quite
Very,
important.
quite important. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, here it can be quite or very important, right? It's
Very
exciting.
important.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It's true,
Not important.
like a true story. Not important. Okay. It teaches me
Very
something.
important.
Very important.
The language is beautiful.
Quite important.
Okay. All right. I think it's pretty much what everybody thinks, right? With a few variations here. But yeah, this is mostly what we usually think of stories in general. Okay. So after discussing this, let's move on to page 88 on our book. Here we are going to see some vocabulary about relationships. As we know, stories, they tell us about ourselves. So when we watch a soap opera or when we watch a performance at the theater, we are usually seeing examples of relationships, right? Our life is full of interactions, social interactions, and also interactions within our family. So, this lesson here will talk about uh, interactions among siblings, brothers, or brother and sister, or two sisters, okay? The title of this lesson is The Brother's Promise. So read the definition of a folktale, then discuss the questions below in a small group. So let's read the definition first in silence, see if you understand. Okay? Yes? So what is a folktale?
A story that could not be true, truly happened at the past, and it's passed down generation by generation, told by
Yeah.
parents and
Mm-hmm.
grandparents, friends, and everything, to
Yes,
usually teach something, inform.
exactly.
And
Uh-huh. That's true. It's usually, thank you, Raul. It's usually an old story, right? Usually a folk tale is an old story that has always existed. Nobody knows who the author is. So there is not an author, but they are spoken. They are usually oral. Okay, these are stories that nowadays we can find them in books, but for many years they've just been repeated or passed down from generation to the generation, from parents to children, orally. Okay, so another characteristic, they are usually spoken. We don't know the author. Okay. And so here we can see three very specific characteristics of folk tales. Old, you don't know the author, and they're usually spoken. And nowadays we can still remember, I think, some folk tales that we read or somebody told us when we were young. So that's why we have the questions here in number one. Do you know any folk tales? What are they about? So I will, instead of asking the whole group, I'm going to do the following. I will separate you in small groups like they suggest here, so you can ask these questions to your friends and then everybody can participate, okay? So you should ask, do you know any folk tales? What are they about? Do you like folk tales? Why or why not? And why do you think people tell folk tales? So to help you with this, as I know not everybody has the book, I will take a picture here of the, let me save this here so I can share this with you and everybody can have access to this. This is unit 8. Okay. So what I'll do is I will simply share this with you guys here on the chat, okay? Or better yet, I will share this with you via WhatsApp so you can check, because the moment I separate you in groups, you will not have access to our chat board. So you may not know the questions. So let me open up my WhatsApp here just a second, okay, guys? So that I can send you the discussion. Just a moment. And while I'm doing this, start thinking of the possible answers you can give, okay? If you know any folk tales, what they are about, okay? So I'm posting the questions here on our page on WhatsApp, so you can all have access to that. Okay, here you go. Okay, all right, people, there it is, just posted. Now you can try, you can participate even if you don't have the book, okay? No problem at all. So let me see here how many people we have. 13. So let's have between 2 or 3 participants per room, okay? Okay, let's go. We are ready to go, okay, guys? You just have to click and join the room, and the questions are posted on our WhatsApp group, okay? Yes, people? Yes? How was it? Could you share the folk tales you know? Yes? Okay, let's see. Is everybody back? Yay, awesome. So how was
Jean-Paul
it?
didn't say anything, no.
Sorry?
Jean-Paul didn't have a chance to say anything. I'm sorry, he didn't have
Oh,
time.
no problem. But that was really quick. Yeah, I only gave you 3 minutes, 4 minutes tops to share, so you would have to go quickly. But don't worry. Did you manage to say something about the folk tales you know?
Uh,
Yeah.
I thought a story I was used to read at
Uh-huh.
morning. It was. I'm not so good at names. I'm sorry. Let me think. The Boscombe Valley, or
Oh,
the book of
okay.
Sherlock Holmes.
Uh-huh.
I was used to read the story, and it's really interesting how the characters face their problems in their daily life. So
Yeah,
and
it's true.
puzzles and everything.
Yeah, that's right. What about the others, guys? Oh, how nice, Thais. Fantastic. Thais says she loves it. Yes, very good, people. Awesome.
It was Thais who recommended the book for me.
Oh,
I
really?
really
Oh, wow. How
Yes, I
nice.
did.
That's
Mhm.
great, Thais. Fantastic. Try to read now in English, okay?
I do.
Oh,
I'm reading it in
good.
English.
It was in
Oh,
English.
yay. Fantastic. How
Said I
nice.
sent to the group on WhatsApp.
But
How nice that is. Very good. That's amazing. Please send me too, please.
Okay, I will.
I want to have it. Oh, that's nice. Okay,
a
guys.
little bit breach,
Yeah, but that's
but I can
okay.
understand something.
Yeah. All right. So now let's see some vocabulary about this interaction, okay, with our siblings. So match each bold word or phrase to the correct definition. So here we have the sentences, and the words that are highlighted are the words we need to find the definition to. And here we have the definitions from A to F, okay? So let's do the first one together. The first one says, you can't force someone to like you. Okay, this is a very current situation in relationships. We see that a lot on soap operas, also novels, books that we read. We always see a situation where someone wants to be loved or liked by somebody else. So you can't force someone to like you. Now, let's find a good definition for the word force. Let's see here. Which one do you think is the best definition?
Letter A.
To struggle with somebody physically or with
No,
words?
I'm so sorry. The letter A is the number 2, I think, or
Mhm,
number 3. I'm so sorry.
no problem. There is a better definition for the verb to force.
What does bring your hand against somebody? What does that mean?
Letter F, to make somebody do something that they don't want to do.
Yes, exactly, Thais. So the first one here would be letter F. To make somebody do something that they don't want to do. This is to force, okay? So now, guys, I'll give you 2 minutes to do the other ones from 2 to 6. Try to find the definitions by yourselves. Let's see what you
Teacher,
can do. Yes.
what is the mean struggle?
Struggle. Does anybody
Struggle.
know? Okay, good. Good question. Does anybody know the meaning of struggle?
Nope.
Nobody.
Mm-mm.
No. So
You,
to
but I can't explain that in English.
yeah.
It's like ofender.
No, no,
Struggle.
no.
It's something physically. You.
Mhm.
Encarar,
Ah.
não sei.
Yeah. Exactly, Raul. To struggle is to do something with difficulty. Okay, when you struggle with something or somebody, you do that with difficulty, usually because you are physically confronting someone, like in a fight, or when you struggle, you can also use it metaphorically to say that, oh, I struggle with math because it's so difficult for me that I have to struggle to understand. Okay, so math is something difficult for me, so I have to struggle with it. I have to make a big effort. Okay, I have to really, you know, sweat to understand it. So that is the meaning of to struggle. Okay. All right, Jose Victor, was that you who asked? Yes, was that you? All right.
Não, professora, foi eu que perguntei, não.
Oh, okay. I thought it was you, but whoever
It was
asked.
Robinson, isn't it?
Oh, Robinson. Okay. Is it clear now? Is it clear now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. So go ahead. Now we'll start counting now. It's 37, so until 39. Okay, let's give one more minute now.
Oh my God, my internet is hates me.
Please don't crash. Okay, guys, can we correct?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you one more minute. Okay, people, let's do it. Let's go. So number 2, don't hit your little brother. That's not nice. What is a good definition for that? Hit.
Speak angrily.
Bring your hand against somebody, something quickly and strongly.
Very nice. To hit is to bring your hand against somebody. Very nice. Oh, João Paulo, I'm so sorry. I hope you can stay here with us. I hope you can stay. In case you crash, please come back, okay? Yeah, do come back. So let's see here, letter D for number 2, okay? Number 3, guys, what do you have? Please don't fight.
Letter A.
Yes, good. Yes, very good. Number 4, will you make a promise?
Letter C.
Okay, that's it. You promise or you make a promise when you tell someone that you'll definitely do or not do something. Number 5, I don't want to argue with you.
Letter B.
Yes, that's the difference, guys, between argue and fight. Okay, when you argue, it is mostly and usually verbally. Okay, it's orally. You just speak angrily to someone because you don't agree with this person, so you argue. Teenagers usually argue a lot with their parents and vice versa. Parents usually argue a lot with teenagers. Okay. Now the last one, number 6, avoid.
Letter E.
All right, perfect. Excellent. Let's check the answers. Yay, everything right. So these verbs, they're always present somehow in relationships in general, right? So let's see here. Number 3, complete the sentences with the words from exercise number 2 now. We are going to use these words now, okay, here in real situations. Change the form if necessary. So let's do the first one together. I have a great relationship with my sister now, but when we were kids, we have to use in the past. Remember, we have to see the sentence is in the past, so we need to notice that. That could be a possibility, yes, but then we are using something physical, right? So, yes, this could be, yeah, when we were kids, it could be if we had physical confrontation, that could be fought. But I don't think this is the right answer because maybe I have, yeah, there is another example here to use the verb fight. Okay, so this one here can be which one? The verb argue, the verb argue. Okay, so we argued all the time. We argued. When you argue, you have like an oral discussion. We exchange bad words, okay, with another person, okay? So try to do the other ones from 2 to 6. See if you find the missing words. Remember, they are verbs, so you need to conjugate the verb according to the sentence, okay? So go ahead. Okay, guys, can we correct?
Okay.
So let's go. Number 2, what did you put?
Avoid.
Avoid.
Yes, very good. So is it right to put just avoid? Do I have to include anything else there? Because it's the third person singular and it's present.
Fight.
Sorry?
Fight.
I can't hear you. Can you say again?
Fight.
No, here, number 2,
Oh
avoid.
no.
Yeah, the right word is avoid, but my question is, do I have to keep it the way it is, or do I have to conjugate the verb avoid in relation to the sentence?
Conjugate. Avoid should be in the past.
Conjugate.
Avoided.
Pay attention. Richard doesn't like sad stories. So which tense is this? Present, past, or future?
Present.
Present. Okay. He doesn't like. It's present. So if it's in the present, here it should also be in the present. So he reading them. So how can I put this here?
Avoids.
Ah, very good, Thais. He avoids. Yes. So we have to include letter S here because he is the third person singular. And the sentence is in the present. All right. So he avoids reading them. Right? Okay. Now, number 3. In many movies and books, the hero has to
fight.
Yes, very good. Here it's infinitive because we have the particle to, so to fight. Just the way it is. Perfect. Has to fight. Number 4. Our teachers
Forced
to read Shakespeare. In the past. Because look, the sentence is in the past. Here we have an indication. So I need to use the past here too. So forced. Okay. Our teachers forced us to read Shakespeare, and all the students hated it. Number 5. In some folk tales, the main character
makes
a
promise.
In the present. So because the sentence is in the present, we need to put the verb in the present too, according to the subject. The main character is third person singular. So makes a promise and then breaks it. Makes, breaks, okay? Number 6, Julia threw the ball. So the sentence is in the past. She threw the ball. The window broke and she got in trouble. Everything is in the past. What happened here? What can I put here?
She hit the window.
Sorry, can you repeat, please?
It hit
It hit
the window.
Aha. And then you can ask me, but look, it's the past. We have to put the verb in the past. What happened here? Oh, hit is irregular. Ah, that's why hit is just the same as in the present. I hit today, I hit yesterday, and I will hit tomorrow. Okay, so hit, hit, hit. Okay, guys. So irregular verb. So this verb is in the past. So Julia threw the ball and it hit the window. The window broke and she got in trouble. Let's check the answer. Yay, very nice. Congratulations, guys. Very good. Yay, you're doing a great job. Excellent. Very good, people. Excellent. Very good job. So now, before we go to the next task, I'd like to have our break because it's already 2:52. You see, guys, how fast time flies. After the break, we will do this page here that I need to reload because it's still, yeah, it's here. Okay, let me clear the page so you don't see the answers. You have already seen. So on this page, guys, we will see the modal verbs that we use for obligation, okay, and for prohibition, must not, and can't. We will see that as well. It's always part of stories, okay? We will see that part next class, next in the other half, okay? After the break. So let's have our break now. Let's have it's 2:53. Let's have 15 minutes. Okay, let's go until 3:05. Let's go until 3:05. Let's go to our annotation here, to our board. All right, people. And don't forget, stay here because I need to record everybody's presence. And by the way, guys, I will also talk to you about the presents in May, so you can get your tickets. Remember, yes, the raffle of the smart TV will be in July, so you can get your tickets from May, so you can participate. Yeah. So, how nice, Raul. I love this. Congratulations. I love this thing here. So let me see if I can draw. Oh, this is so cute. My hands are not as good as they used to be. I'm having a hard time drawing. My goodness, this is horrible.
Give me the example, the fast guy, Raul.
Yeah, he's really fast. He's amazing. So guys, this is open for you, okay? Have some time, drink some water, and we will be back at 3:05.
Endoidou, mano.
Who?
Gente, meu cachorrinho ficou doido aqui. Começou a rolar para um lado para o outro e latir. Beleza.
Oh my God, is he okay?
Yeah.
Okay, hopefully he's fine, right? Okay. Be careful, okay, guys? So, see you at 3:05. Don't go anywhere. All right, so you should understand the speaker's purpose whenever you're listening to someone. And how can we do this? To help focus your listening, identify a speaker's purpose or reason for speaking. 3 purposes for speaking are: number 1, to inform, to teach or give information to the listener. Second, to persuade, try to make the listener believe something. And number 3, entertain, to make the listener have fun. Okay, so now let's move on to the next part. We are going to listen to a piece and we should identify what is the speaker's purpose: to persuade, to entertain, or to inform. So listen to this.
I'm going to tell you a Chinese folk tale about two brothers. It is called The Morning and the Evening Star. Once upon a time, there were two stars. They were the sons of the Golden King of the sky. Their names were Chen and Shen. One day, the brothers argued. Chen became angry and hit Shen very hard. Shen said, "We are brothers. We can't fight." So the brothers made a promise. They said, "We must never look at each other again." After that day, Chen appeared only in the evening, and Shen appeared only in the morning. And that is why people say, when two brothers argue, they are like Chen and Shen.
Sorry, couldn't listen to the story. Yes, was the audio okay?
Yes.
Yes? Okay.
Good.
So
Listen.
what do you think is the speaker's purpose?
To inform or to persuade us good or not.
Yes, first they tell us a Chinese folktale. They introduce the story by saying what the story is all about. Oh, it's a Chinese folktale about two brothers. So then they say what happened to the two brothers, right? One of them was called the morning and the other one the evening star. Once upon a time, there were two stars, and then they start telling you the story, which is a folk tale, okay? So then these brothers, they used to argue a lot. They would argue all the time. So they made a promise. They made a promise. They said, we must never look at each other again. So that's the best thing for us to do. And then after that day, they Chen, one of the brothers, appeared only in the evening, and Shan appeared only in the morning. So the evening star and the morning star. And that's why people say when two brothers argue, they're like Chen and Shen. So they are explaining as well the meaning of this phrase. When two people argue a lot and they are brothers, people say, oh, they're just like Chen and Shen. Okay, so what kind of story is this? Is it to inform, to persuade, or to entertain?
To entertain.
Yes, to entertain. Yes, even though there is a lesson. Yes, there is a lesson. I would put here another box if I could. I would put a box here that says here. I would put here a next box and I would write to teach. Okay? To teach. So, because actually when you listen to this folk tale, you learn something. Okay? There is a lesson that brothers should not fight. Yes, or argue. They should not argue or fight. So, in my opinion, the best answer would be this one here. Okay? But as we don't have to teach here, we only have to persuade, to inform, and to entertain. Okay, let's choose this one in the middle. Okay? All right. So let's check out the answers here. Yes, there you go, the one in the middle. Okay, but of course, guys, folk tales, yes, they want to entertain, but most of the time they also teach us a lesson. They always have something important to teach. Okay, now listen one more time. Are the statements true or false? Correct the false statements. So let's take a look at the statements first before we listen. So take a look in silence, see if you understand. Okay, now let's listen one more time before we answer. Okay, let's do it.
I'm going to tell you a Chinese folk tale about two brothers. It is called The Morning and the Evening Star. Once upon a time, there were two stars. They were the sons of the Golden King of the sky. Their names were Chen and Shen. One day, the brothers argued. Chen became angry and hit Shen very hard. Shen said, "We are brothers. We can't fight." So the brothers made a promise. They said, "We must never look at each other again." After that day, Chen appeared only in the evening, and Shen appeared only in the morning. And that is why people say, when two brothers argue, they are like Chen and Shen.
Okay, so I'll give you 1 minute to complete the task from 1 to 6. Okay. Okay, guys? Yes, you're done. So let's see. The first one, guys, true or false?
True.
Yay, good. Number 2, true or false?
False.
False.
Yes, that's it. Number 3, true or false?
False. Once again.
False.
Yes, great. Number 4, true or false?
True.
Yes, great. You're doing a great job. Number 5, true or false?
False.
True. False, the brother had promise
Let's
to
see.
never agree to each other.
False. Okay, they promise to never see each other again, not argue, but never see.
See.
Yes. Number 6, true or false?
True.
Yay! Congratulations, guys. Very good. So, everything correct. Well done. So you see, guys, one simple word makes a difference, right? So the promise was exactly not to see each other again, right? Okay, now just a reflection moment. Who do you argue with? You don't need to say, but just think about it. What do you argue about? How do you usually stop arguing? The third one you can say, because it's always good for us to share our best practices. So, how do you usually stop arguing, people?
I usually try to understand both
Mhm.
or more than one perspective at the same time, so I can make how can I say that? Finish
The
the argue
argument. Uh-huh.
the argument
Good.
with
That's very good.
yeah.
So, you try to see both sides or all the sides of the argument. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
nice. That's a good one to do. Yes. we usually I usually agree with what the person is saying because sometimes it's difficult to give your opinion and stick to it because the other person will not understand and the person will confront you all the time. And then I said, oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think you're right. Even though I may not see at the time that the person is right, but the person might be right. Maybe I am wrong, right? So sometimes we don't know. And then it's better to like agree and, oh, yeah, that's okay. Yeah. I usually avoid arguing and I try to understand it with time. If I can't understand at the moment, I try to understand later because there is always a good reason for things to happen. And maybe I was wrong from the beginning, right? So I always try to understand the other person's point of view. All right, people. So let's see the grammar in context. Here, the point is using the modal verbs must and must not or can't to talk about necessary things, obligations, and prohibitions. So let's see the beginning here. We use must to talk about what is necessary to do, like an obligation. But let me tell you something very important. When we use must, it's usually something very personal. So here I would put not only the word obligation, but I would put personal obligation. It's something that we feel we need to do. So must is usually used with I or we, okay? These are the subjects that we usually use with the modal verb must because it shows something that we feel is necessary, okay? When I say, for example, I must learn English this year because I'm traveling abroad next year. So this year I must learn English. So this is a personal obligation. Using an example with we must get vaccinated for COVID-19 because we need to be protected so we don't get sick. So we must be vaccinated. So this is also a personal obligation. I'm talking about everybody, but I'm including myself there. So we must be vaccinated. We must do this. We must do that. So when it's something very necessary, okay? Now, when I'm talking about the second person singular, like you, or second person plural, I usually use other modal verbs. I don't usually say you must, only when it's an emergency. For example, suppose somebody is seriously hurt. There was an accident and the person is bleeding. So you tell the person, oh, listen, you must go to the hospital now. You're bleeding. So you must see a doctor. It's an emergency. So in emergency situations, I can say you must. Okay, guys. So this is usually for emergencies. Okay. When somebody's feeling bad, somebody's not feeling well, you can tell the person, look, you must see a doctor. You must see a doctor. You must be tested for COVID because probably you have COVID. You have all the symptoms. So you must get tested. Okay, so emergencies. Apart from that, we usually use must for personal obligation. Okay, guys. So this is something the book doesn't mention. When I talk about a different kind of obligation, for example, when I talk about things that are necessary, but it's not something personal, it's because my job wants me to do, for example. So let's say I use have to instead of must. So I have to work on Monday. Okay, suppose I have classes on Monday. So if you ask me, oh, let's have a barbecue on Monday, we all want to have a barbecue. It's the pandemic, but we're going to a club, so it's outdoors. So let's have a barbecue on Monday. So I will tell you, I'm sorry, I can't go. I have to work on Monday. In this case, I will not say I must work on Monday because this is not something personal. I have to work means that I have this responsibility. Monday is a regular day of work. So it's not a free day for me. I can't take the day off on Monday because I work. So I have to work. So this is obligation dictated by my boss or my company or my job. It's not a personal obligation. Like here, for example, we must never look at each other again. Okay, so this is external obligation. Okay, guys, I'm giving you some deep, what we call a deep notion of the use of must. Okay, this is external, but when I say, for example, suppose I have to go on a diet because my doctor told me to lose weight, otherwise I will be in a dangerous situation. So I can say, I have to say, oh, I must lose weight. Okay, I must lose weight. This is not external obligation. This is my personal obligation. This is something I have to do for myself. I must lose weight. So I have to do it, whether I like it or not. Here, this one is external. Do you understand the meaning, guys? Do you understand the difference?
Yes, I do.
Okay. When you're talking about school, for example, oh, I have a test. I have a test next week, so I have to study. I have to study for the test. So you use have to because it's an external obligation. Okay. So there is this difference. Personal obligation and external obligation. So now let's move on to must not and can't. What's the meaning of must not and can't? So let's see there. We use must not and can't to talk about what is necessary not to do, like what you shouldn't do. Okay? So, in other words, it's something that is not either allowed or permitted. For example, we're brothers. We can't fight. So, we shouldn't fight because we're brothers, right? Or you must not talk when you are taking a test. This is prohibited. It's like a prohibition. Must not has a stronger sense of prohibition than can't. Okay, guys? When you say must not, it's more prohibition than can't. Can't is something that it's impossible. It's not something we should do. So we usually use can't to talk about things that we shouldn't do. But must not is not about what you shouldn't. It's about you really can't do. It's prohibited. Okay? So let's put here prohibition for must not and can't, shouldn't. Okay? So that's the main idea. Can't has more idea of shouldn't do something or something that is not possible, and must not is really about something that is prohibited. Okay, so it's not about a necessity in the negative. No, necessity in the negative is don't have to. Like, for example, I don't have to work tomorrow. For example, this is the necessity in the negative necessity. I don't need to work tomorrow. Tomorrow is Sunday, so I don't have to work tomorrow. Here, I'm not going to use must not because must not means prohibition. So you see, when I'm talking about external obligation and I'm talking about something I don't have to do, then this is what I use. I don't have to do, I have to, I don't have to. Okay? Try to keep must not only for prohibition. We usually form questions with have to and not with must. So we don't make questions with must because then it would be, oh, must you go? No. So do we have to go? Usually we use have to for questions. Example, do we have to take the test? Like, is it really necessary to take the test? Oh, yes, you do. So you see, it's an external obligation. Okay, guys. So it may sound a little weird for you, but let's try to summarize. Must, affirmative, we use for personal obligation, okay? Something extremely necessary that you feel the urge to do. When I talk about another person, it's because it's an emergency, okay? Now, if you're saying that you must do something, you must find a job, you must, usually for that, when we're giving advice, we prefer to use should. You should find a job, you should do this, you should do that. Must is more for emergencies when I'm including another person. When I'm talking about myself and I use must, I'm talking about a personal obligation. I feel the need to do it. I feel it's necessary, so I must do it. Okay? Because I feel it's necessary. Here, when I say I have to work on Monday, sometimes I don't feel it's necessary. In my, if you ask me, do you want to work on Monday? I will say, not really. Okay, I don't feel it's necessary, especially if Tuesday. Suppose if Tuesday is a holiday, I don't want to work on Monday, but I have to. Okay, so it's not something that I feel is necessary, but it's something that I have to do because that's what my boss says. My boss tells us to work on Monday, even if Tuesday is a holiday, no problem. So I have to work. This is more like a responsibility kind of thing. It's external obligations. Different when I say, I must lose weight. This is something I feel I have to do. I must lose weight. Okay, guys, can you see the difference now? Yes?
Yes, I can.
Yes, it's different. I must do this. I must lose weight, but I have to work on Monday. Okay? So you can differentiate must and have to. Now, in the negative, must not, we usually use for prohibition. You must not talk when you're taking a test. You must not smoke in the classroom. You must not use drugs. You must not do this, do that. Prohibitions, things that you must not do, okay? Prohibitions. And for questions, we only use have to instead of must to talk about things that are necessary. Do you have to take the test? Do you have to work on Monday? Okay. Do you have to study this? Do you have to learn the difference between must and must not? And when I use can't is more like something you shouldn't do or something that you can't do because you are not able. So it's not possible. So I can't play the piano, for example, because I don't know how to play the piano. So I can't play the piano, right? It's impossible. I don't know. I don't have the ability. But here, it's not ability. Here, it's something that is not good for you to do. You can't fight. It's not good. You shouldn't fight. Okay, so you can say, oh, we can't fight. We're brothers. Okay? All right, people. So can I clear my annotations?
Can you give me a minute to make notes of everything?
Yes, sure. Go ahead. It's a little tricky because have to and must, they have the same meaning in Portuguese, but in English, no. In English, the idea is different. Okay, guys? Just like I
No,
said
teacher.
here. Yes?
Yep.
Yeah, can I clear? Yep.
Sure, you can.
Okay, good. All right, yay, look at that. I'm sorry, guys, I forgot to disable this thing here. I always forget to disable when I'm with the pen here and I want to scroll down or move the page, the pen does that. Oh, right, now I can do it. Sorry about it, guys. So let's do a little practice before we go. Read one family's rules. Choose the correct word or words. By the way, if you want to have more examples about the topic, you can refer to page 166. Okay, you can see some other examples there. So let's see the first one. So number one, we be kind to each other. Sorry, that was my mother. So we be kind to each other. So what do we have to say here? I'm talking about us, first person plural. So we
Must.
must, yes, we must be kind to each other. Okay, we feel the need. We feel it's necessary to be kind to each other. Guys, 1 minute. Do the others from 2 to number 6, and then we correct. Okie dokie. Yes, go ahead,
Okay.
Raul. Yes.
I have a question. Yes.
Mhm.
What does dessert mean? Dessert.
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 Yes, dessert is something sweet you have after a meal, lunch or dinner. So after lunch or after dinner, if you eat something sweet, that is called dessert. Okay?
Thank you.
Can be ice cream, can be a pudding, can be many things. Okay? All right, people. Let's check. The first one, yes, we must be kind. The second one, you
Can't.
can't. Yes, meaning you shouldn't, right? You can't hit your brothers and sisters. Remember that. Number 3, children younger than 10
Must not.
must go to bed or must not?
Must go.
Younger than 10. Must not.
Must
Must
not.
not. Ah, okay. Must not go to bed later than 9. So here,
Tá, entendi.
yes?
Eu não
Okay.
acredito nisso.
Yeah, that was tricky. Here we are saying that it's like it should be prohibited, right, for kids to go to bed later than 9, like 11 p.m., midnight. That's not okay. So children younger than 10 must not go to bed later than 9 o'clock. This is like a rule, okay? We are talking here about rules. So they are using must here to give examples of rules, okay? All right. Here, number 4, children older than 10
Must.
Must
help wash dishes after dinner. So here, as you can see, they are not talking about you, they are not talking about him or her, but they are talking about children in general, okay? So when I talk about people in general, I can use must in affirmative form to talk about a rule, okay? I forgot to mention that. When I'm talking about a rule, I can use must in affirmative form for general subjects, okay? Children or people, okay? Now here, number 5. Now the subject is you.
Must.
Yes, here I'm talking about a rule again and straight to you. This is, you should eat. Here in this sentence, it's better to say you should eat your dinner before you can have the dessert. But this is like talking to a child, okay? A young child. So you are giving the rules to the child. You must eat your dinner before you have the dessert. So this is too strong to use you must, okay? Maybe here it's a case of an argument between a parent and a child. Maybe they got this example from an argument. Maybe the child wants to eat the dessert first, and the parent says, no way, you must eat your dinner before you have the dessert. So, it's a kind of, extreme situation. Number 7 here, you
Must not.
must not. Okay. Negative. All right. Prohibition. You must not use your phone at the dinner table. So all these here, guys, from 3 to 6, we are talking about rules. Yes, go ahead. Does anybody have a question?
Nope.
Is it okay? Yes. So here, from 3 to 6, we're talking about rules, basically involving children. Okay. All right, people. So next one, let me clear this. Before we go, we have this exercise where we should use must, can't, have to write statements and questions. Add punctuation. So let's see. The first one says you have the prompts and you have to organize. The subject is always first. So you must pass a test before you can drive. So this is like an obligation. Okay? So here I would use, instead of must, I would use you have to. That would be the best choice. You have to pass a test before you can drive, not you must pass a test. Okay, people? So the book is not differentiating between must and have to. Okay? The first one, the best choice would be you have to pass a test, because this is not a personal obligation. So you have to is better. Okay? All right, people. There you go. Now let's see the next one. The students, how would you put that?
Must.
Okay. The students must go home early. Okay, here we're talking about a group of people in general. And it's about a rule. It's a rule. So the students must go home early. Okay, all right. Here, question.
Sure.
Do we have to show? Okay, guys, when it's a question, we use have to. Remember, so we have to use the auxiliary first to form the question. So do we have to show our passports at the airport? All right. You see? Okay. Number 4. Take photos in the museum.
Can't?
Can't. Here we can use can't or must not. It depends on the museum. Okay. So visitors can't take photos in the museum. All right. Number 5, customers.
Have to or must?
Yes, customers must pay if they are considering must as a necessity for general people. Here we are talking about customers in general. So as a rule, we can consider that must then, okay? Customers must pay before leaving the store, because I'm talking about customers in general, like the students here. General, it's in the plural. So customers must pay before leaving the store. Okay,
General
let's
subject.
understand because of the subject. The subject is general, it's in the plural, and I'm talking about an obligation, so we can use must there. And number 6, question.
Travelers, journalists. I have a question too.
Yeah,
Do travelers have to?
Yes, very good. Do travelers have to buy, okay? Have to buy a ticket before they get on the train? All right, there you go. So let's check the answers, people. Yeah, the answers are on a separate tab. Let me clear my annotations. Okay, let's see. The first one is already there. They put you must pass a test before you can drive. So you have to pass a test is better. Number 2, the students can't go home early. Why? Must go home early. That's the right one. The students must go home early, not can't. This is wrong. Imagine, guys, if you say that the students can't go home early, Or only if you were saying that the students can't leave school before the school time is over. Only if that's the idea. But if we're talking about an event, suppose an event in the evening, like a party, okay? Imagine an event in the evening. So that's what I thought. If it's an event in the evening, then the students must go home early. They can't stay until late at school, until midnight or 1 in the morning. So here we have to see what they want to mean by go home early. Okay,
The
guys.
context.
The context. It can be leave school before school is over, or if it's a party in the evening, they must go home early. Okay, guys. So both situations here are valid. So if it's an event in the evening, the students must go. Okay, must go home early. Do we have to show? Question. Visitors can't take photos. Okay. Customers must pay. All right. And question again. Do travelers have to buy? Okay, guys. So it's all about the context here. In the test, don't worry, I will not put sentences like this. There is always a context. Okay, people. So let me clear here. All right, good. All right, people, we are done here. Everything okay? So we are done with this page, page 50. Which page is that? Page 89. Next class, we will do page 90, which is unit 8.2. So we start a new unit, a new lesson next week instead of today, okay? So let me go back to our page on Google Classroom. Yes, can you see that, people?
Yes, again.
Good. So what did we learn today? Okay, what did we learn today? Oh, this is from June 5th. Let me change here just a second. Now I got the right date. Sorry, that was from the previous week. Now it's okay. So today we talked about stories. We saw some folk tales, and we also saw the story about the puppets. Remember? Yes. Okay, the opera dei pupi from the Italian puppet master. We saw vocabulary about relationships, right? Like argue, fight, avoid, make a promise. And finally, we saw modal verbs, must not, and can't. To help you practice, I asked you to do online practice, unit 8.1, and the worksheets posted here. Look, guys, I posted for you some posters about the use of must and must not, and also can and can't. And here, there is an explanation of the vocabulary we saw in class. Oh, this is very nice. I like this one. I made it myself. Oh, I can't open here. Oh, yes, I opened. Very good. Okay, so I put there for you. Look, unit 8.1, vocabulary. And I put the definition of the verbs in English, okay, for you. Just like what you have in the book, okay? And I found this picture really funny. And I put it there. Yeah. As if a guy was like, what does it mean? Okay. So you can check the vocabulary there. And also here, it's worksheet with must, about the use of must. So you can practice with this quiz. It's very simple. You don't need to print. You can do on your notebook, and then you check the answers here on the quiz. They have the answers. And just to have some fun, I posted a video of a very nice folk tale here. The Anansi and the Melon. It's a spider. Children love this story. Okay, so you you can watch this video later and have some fun, right? So we check the homework next week on June 18th. All right, people. Guys, have a great weekend. Enjoy your weekend. Try to relax a bit. I know you study a lot, so have some relaxing time and enjoy your week. Okay, guys? Be
You too,
careful.
teacher.
Wear your mask and wash your hands frequently. Okay, guys? Unfortunately, the virus is still out there. Okay? We must be careful. Just to conclude our lesson with must be careful. All right, people.
Okay.
All right, guys. So very nice to see you. Let me take a picture just to finish of everybody here. Yay! How nice.
E eu que não paro quieto.
Oh my
Perfil.
goodness, Robinson. That's okay, no problem. So let me take a picture of you guys. 1, 2, 3. Hey, good to see you, Paulinha. I'm so happy to see you. Hey, Agathe. Hey, thank you so much for coming, Agathe. You are amazing. You are super good. I love to see your effort. She goes to school every Saturday. Congratulations, Agathe. Very good. Very good. I really admire you for that. Thank you so much, Kathleen, Thais, Raul, Robinson. Good job, Robinson. Keep doing it. José Victor, Cristiano, André. Thank you so much, André. Paulinha, congratulations. Juan, Jessica, Leonardo. I will send a list of the students who got 100% attendance in May. Okay, I will send to WhatsApp.
Okay,
So you
teacher.
can pick up your tickets. All right,
Bye-bye.
people. Bye-bye.
See you
Bye,
next week.
teacher. See you soon.
See you next week. Take care. Bye-bye. Oh, guys, I love you
Yeah,
so
teacher.
much. Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for the drawing. It was lovely. Bye-bye, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Leo, Jessica, Paulinha, Cristiano, Leonardo, Juan Bessa. How nice, Juan. Good job. I love when I see you here. Thank you. Bye-bye.